guess we'll start.
Let's do it.
Alright.
Episode 3, Revenge of the Electric Boogalee.
Oh, no.
Hello and welcome to the I Know What I Got cast. I'm your host, Andrew, and here with me are the rootinest of the tootinest, Ben and David.
Hey.
We also have Chuck here. Everybody say hi, Chuck.
Hi, Chuck.
Hi,
Everybody
Chuck.
say hi, Chuck.
How the fuck are you doing, Chuck?
I am excellent.
Now, in this
Oh, yeah.
episode, your electric car is a shitbox, the non-shitboxes are dead, and wow, it was a Halo car the entire time. Let's get to the news. Again, a lot is at work in the EV realm. I know we always open up with something electrifying, pun intended. It is honestly the majority of headlines these days when it comes to cars. Chuck and I
What a
cannot
letdown.
find... I mean, maybe there's like racing ones, but...
Like, oh, look, this car sounds like this car now.
They're making this
Great.
car try to not sound like all the other cars.
They all sound like a vacuum cleaner. Brought to you by Motor Trend.
So
True,
dumb.
Motor Trend.
So one of the most fascinating parts of EV tech is autonomous driving. Honest to all gods. Like,
Whoop-de-doo.
no, really, have you seen that stuff in action?
Yeah.
It's pretty insane.
You don't think that'd be cool to like just be able to veg out in your car as you're going through like the scenic routes across the states or something?
That would be amazing. I'd give it a picnic feel.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, on the or
I
what
like
if-
driving, but if I
Let's
have to
be
do a road
honest.
trip, which to be honest, I don't really enjoy them, that would be fun.
Yeah.
That'd be way better. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would. I
David,
like road
I
trips.
drive in
you
certain
always do
bits.
because I drive the whole
No.
way. I don't mind driving. I
Yeah,
veg
I
out while
do.
I'm
I'm the
driving.
same
It's
way.
probably
Mind
not safe,
driving
but like, I
either.
don't give a shit. I
It's
can
like
still
hour
look
10
around.
and Ava's like,
Yeah.
Jimmy, you want to switch? And I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm good. Just got to slap my legs a
I'll
little
drive
bit.
sometimes too. It's not all you making the road trips.
Yeah, but you'll drive
Used
for
to
like
be.
an hour.
Got so
and be like,
defensive
"Betty,
there,
I'm
Dad.
tired."
That's
I'll be like,
well,
"You
no,
slept
I'm
for
just saying.
3
Like,
hours."
like we used to like drive up to LA, like I don't know, go do Los Angeles things. You'd be like, all
Yeah,
right,
you would drive sometimes.
I would
that's
drive
true, but that's
sometimes.
not
Oh, wow.
That's
Road
not
trip
that
up to
far.
LA.
Hey,
LA is
take
like
it
an hour
easy.
and a
That
half.
could take 3 hours or more if you're not careful. I don't know. I
Yeah,
mean,
you never want to drive the trafficy route back, though. You always drive first so you can sick me on the drive and we're stuck going 10 for 4 hours.
touche.
Smart
Yeah,
man,
all right,
smart.
just
fair enough.
figuring this
That is
out
some
now.
baby brother syndrome
No,
right
I've
there.
known this.
He's not wrong. Now that he says it, I'm like, okay, all right. He's on to something there. Sorry, Andrew. Proceed.
So the idea that a driver can pass like a herd of commuters on the way to work in their shitbox hatchback with an axle back and not have to worry sounds pretty good. Right? Everyone they're all like actually doing the overtakes properly and going back into their lanes or whatever. And frankly, everybody's probably just going to be going the same speed.
So one of them has a glitch and you find yourself in the back of another autonomous vehicle and
Okay.
you can't even blame yourself for it.
Well,
You're-
good thing that you
you're-
don't even own it because you subscribe to it anyway.
Yeah,
so-
that's true. Yeah.
Yep, you're going to heaven and it ain't even your fault. You know what I mean? Like do you want to like
I
put
got
your
jokes. I
life
don't know if I
into a
can say 'em.
machine like that? In the hands of a machine? Not so much.
What about the hands of a bullet?
What?
What about the hands of a bullet? Would you rather go out that way?
I mean, yeah.
That's great. Jaguar and Land Rover have partnered up with NVIDIA, a common name in computer tech out of Silicon Valley. The 3 European engineering hubs responsible for this will be in Munich. Does that say Bologna?
No.
And Madrid.
Oh my God.
These new facilities will help facilitate their future luxury lineup. These will be in addition to the existing hubs already working and operating in the US, Europe, and China. When Jag and Land Rover were asked why they decided to choose these locations, it was plain and simple. These locations are near to where all the specialists and engineers are located. So, in other news, Teslas are throwaway vehicles. There were 120 in U.S. auctions in the last month, and almost every car was written off by insurance companies, as they will write them off as opposed to spending the average $50,000 to get them back onto the road and resold.
It's not news though. Like, we knew Teslas were throwaway cars since Tesla came out.
Well, those of us that are like into cars or maybe in the industry, but to the average consumer, they think that Tesla is going to be the future. They think, I'm sure there's so many silly people out there that are like, my EV vehicle is going to hold value.
Yeah,
that
but those are the
depreciates
same
faster,
people
in
who
my
lease
opinion,
them and turn them in every 3 years and get a new one, so they are throwawayable, and those people do realize that.
Well, you know
what
the
I
funny
mean?
thing
True as
about Americans thinking about the future, they have a history of totally not actually thinking about the future when building things for the future. You know, like when they started like chroming bumpers left and right in just about every trim piece on their 57 Bel Air.
Yep.
Their V8 that produced like 80 horsepower. Yeah.
We
Those
made
were so sad.
pencils with lead.
So yeah, exactly. Yeah. Moving on, or rather continuing the trend. I said it one of these last episodes. The most environmentally friendly car is the one you already have, whatever it is. And while battery recycling does very much exist, it's not perfect.
But yeah, far from.
And even after that, that still leaves the rest of the car body taking up space with its space-age plastics. So if cruise ships dumping, well, everything into the oceans bothers you, this will too.
Yeah.
Also in news relating to Tesla, VW has stated that they are not going to match Tesla in dropping their price. You guys remember that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So David does not. So
Elaborate.
they have decided to drop pretty much the how would you say it, the overall price of their entire lineup to be more competitive.
Oh.
Tesla.
Yep.
Because
Okay.
it turns out that their profit margins are just that much higher per car, right?
Interesting.
And while most manufacturers, I think, only really make anywhere between $600 to $900 on each car, Tesla's still, I think, a little over $1,000.
Yeah.
Well,
Interesting.
you know, more people can buy them.
So VW stated that to do this would hurt their existing customers who own VW EVs and would not allow them to make steady growth through consistent sales, which makes sense. Also left in the wake of the EV change is the very good and buttery smooth W12 by Volkswagen Design and perfected by Bentley.
Oh,
Next
such a
year's
good one.
Bentleys will have V6s and V8s, and some of them will be electrically charged. The final iteration of the engine will be
hurts my
found in
whole heart.
18 examples of the 2024. Can you pronounce this for me? BATUR.
I think Batur. Yeah,
Oh,
Batur.
those are cool.
BATUR.
Yeah.
I'm unfamiliar with what this vehicle looks like.
Oh, all right.
Why don't we Google it?
Yeah.
Hold it up.
Okay, so what year? 2024.
Relax.
2024 Batur.
Oh.
I will continue on. So, for every time you do a burnout,
Oh, that's so cool.
It's very good looking. Kind of like reminds me of an Aston Martin a bit.
No,
The best
you know what?
Continental GT lines that
looks
that
like a
have come out.
Jaguar if Jaguar learned how to
That
design.
too. Yeah,
All
that
I
too.
all I see there is a BMW 8 Series.
Because the big grill in the front.
Big
Yeah.
grill, little
Yeah.
lights.
I like it.
Yeah, but it looks
I
meaner
like it
though
as
than the
well.
BMW.
Yeah, like an M8.
Yeah, it looks very intimidating. Not
It's a
even
little-
more than
It's a
some.
little squinty, but
Yeah, in an angry way. All right, moving on now.
I feel like they stole those headlights straight off an Infinity.
so for every time you do a burnout in your Batur facing west, you must do an equal amount facing east.
Nah.
This is strictly to bring up to bring the spin of the Earth back to its normal rotating speed. The staff manufacturing these engines are going to be retrained and retained, so kudos to Bentley on that. They can now sit around and slowly get dumber as they kind of plug
That's so sad.
one and one
Yeah, the
together
W12 engine is no longer after.
1,100 times a day. Just put the cable to another, or maybe put the shell around the already made alternator insides or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you do there? What do you? Do they even need alternators?
You twiddle your
On an
thumbs
electric
and
car?
doodle
Yeah,
on
no.
your paper.
No, I
That's
mean
what
it's
I'm
got
doing
stators and
here.
stuff for probably all that. I
No
mean, I'm
one's
sorry, I don't know much
reinventing
about
the
it.
wheel here.
Dude,
Yeah.
I miss like the
Like-
late thousands when Volkswagen Group would be like, let's just throw the W12
In
in
something.
literally anything else.
Yes, that was so
Like,
cool.
oh, A8?
Oh,
Yep, throw it in. Oh,
Okay.
Do you guys remember the W12 GTI?
Of course, that was like my
thing
prime
was-
example.
Oh my
like,
god,
Didn't they do
what?
that
such
with
a
the
cool car.
Phaeton?
Yeah,
Phaeton?
Phaeton had the W12.
Phaeton.
Which was basically the A8.
They said
Just like,
the
what a car.
A8 up
Those are
until
cool.
like not too long ago had it.
What else had? Well,
Well, the motor in the Bugatti is based off of the W12. They gave it another 4 cylinders. It's W16. I mean, it's the same blueprint, more or less. It's just bigger.
Bentleys are gonna sound so lame now.
how are they going to lug around all that
V6,
leather
you're paying
with that
$250
V6?
grand for a V6.
Potentially, I don't think that might
I
be
don't
some
think
of their
they're
other
cheaper.
models that they're probably gonna. Yeah, they're gonna.
I mean, listen, this W12 is putting out like 1,000 plus torque.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry about their V6s. If it's still putting out like 700 or
Yeah.
800, that's enough car for just about
Yeah.
anybody.
Aren't those things weigh like 6
A
or
metric
8,000 pounds?
fuck ton.
The engine was half the weight.
That's a good. Yeah, that's true. It wasn't like multiple thousands of pounds. That engine.
No, that was the joke. I'm sure they're made out of like something dangerous like magnesium.
but you know,
Yeah.
how many cows are in one of those things?
All of them.
Like
You
You know, I
16
watched
cows.
Jeremy's
Whole farm.
Jeremy's farm the other day.
Oh yeah.
good.
Learned how many people a single cow can feed. It's actually quite incredible, and
Yeah.
it has
Season
nothing to
2's
do with
out.
what
I
we're
haven't
talking
even
about now.
watched it. Don't
Moving
tell me.
along.
So now that we've
Now
seen,
I think we need a jingle.
oh
Chuck.
my god!
Oh.
Okay, you don't think we need a jingle?
Pick a
20
car.
minutes
Pick a
in,
car.
we-
Pick a car.
Oh, you guys are giving me
Pick a
okay,
car.
on the spot.
Goodness.
A 2024 Batur.
No, come on. I mean, sure.
Has your Patur already grown mature? Why not? Sell it to Carvio at 855-951-3335. I don't know why you guys chose that one
That
out of
was
all the cars. No one's going to
great.
sell that.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're just thinking about the
Not for
future.
anything we can
Yeah,
do.
Thinking
Fair
about the
enough,
future.
Fair enough. You're one of, what is it, 79 of these things are going to exist or something like that?
18.
18.
18 of the
Sweet.
W12s.
So sad.
Oh, I can't wait to swap the motor out of one of those things.
Oh, seriously.
So we've also seen some interesting news from Germany. Guess who's in trouble again?
Oh, dear.
Volkswagen.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
At least don't make it. Just say Mercedes for shits and gigs, and then say Volkswagen, Benny.
You're
Come
also
on.
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
Nicely
BMW.
done, Dave.
all right.
BMW as well, yeah.
Yeah.
Aldi.
All three of Aldi's nuts.
So dumb.
Nice.
All three of them. Their software and EGR valves. Again, we're pretty much looking at the same thing here. It's just a little quieter and softer.
Dieselgate, but not.
Oh, now don't call it that now. You wouldn't want to make anybody nervous.
Yeah.
So, Deutsch.
You
I
want me
know you threw this in here to try to get me to slip up, and so you can show off your German, but I got it.
Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah? Let's hear it.
Uh-huh. Wait. Umfeldhilfe.
Ja, das ist richtig.
Deutsch Umfeldhilfe. A German environmental agency has claimed that VW is using a softer version of the Dieselgate or emissions defeat software that has actually stood up in court again.
You still got it wrong, though.
What?
Whatever. Durchverhilter?
Umwelthilfe.
Yeah.
Deutsch Umverhilter! You're too quiet. Did I nail it?
I can't believe
Nailed
you did
it.
that shit. Benny.
Nailed it.
Just speaking from his roots.
I lived, baby. I lived. Can't keep me down.
So, VW is in no position right now to do anything. Mercedes and BMW are now caught up in this. No one is revoking car licenses or ordering hardware or software updates. So for now, we wait on what will happen next when the German court reaches its final verdict, which makes sense. I mean, Germany will basically eradicate half of their economy if they revoke these
All their
licenses.
taxi
So-
cabs, too. Remember, they're Mercedes and BMWs and VWs
they know
and
this.
stuff.
These
Yeah.
manufacturers know this. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You're gonna throw your whole
Need
country
me.
in debt
Yeah.
Yeah.
over a little CO2 or
Yeah,
whatever.
because they're a landlocked, European country. They have to manufacturing their own stuff is still fairly important.
The Doomsday Day, or whatever they call it. has
Doomsdog
passed.
dog.
Maybe? No, I don't think so. Is
No,
that
that's
German?
not. That's not German. That's Swedish.
Something like that.
Okay, so yeah,
That's
that
Deutsch.
happened. So, like, at this point, who cares? Like we passed the point of no return as far as
So VW argued that if they were to
the environment.
tune the engines anymore
Or in
to
any other
produce
way.
less of this illegal emissions, it would basically cause like pre-detonation or something and blow up the engine and put the driver at risk. And nobody wants to see that.
Well, you know whose problem that isn't? The people who drive.
It's
it.
not mine because I can't afford it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So over at Toyota Land, the new Grand Highlander, that's right, another SUV, is raising questions. Now, don't get me wrong, on paper, this seems like an excellent SUV. Seems to have a solid hybrid setup, a 4-cylinder turbocharged 2.4 liter with decent EV batteries, competing with the very capable SUV platform.
The Grand Highlander.
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it actually looks, I'll pull that one up too. It looks pretty decent.
God, another one I have not seen.
It kind of looks like
Grand Highlander.
the Expeditions, I guess, or something. It's like that
Oh,
whole
so
like,
it's-
squared off.
Literally a Highlander, but longer.
Yeah.
Is it longer?
Yeah,
It's actually
it looks a
in
lot
general.
larger. Yeah, it looks taller. It looks
took a
broader.
Yeah, so it's a whole
Forerunner.
different. It's a whole different.
Maybe it's not
Squashed
any
it.
wider, but they've made it look squatter. It looks kind of very much. It looks like a really oversized. Wow, Ford Focus. Who said that? Ford.
What?
Did you, Andrew? Did it say it looks like
Expedition.
Expedition? It looks more like a Ford Focus to me.
It also looks to me like they're just trying, because we're not getting the Land Cruiser here. They're just trying to make everything look like the new Land Cruiser now.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, don't
Don't forget.
or forget and buy one of these.
Yeah. Shh. Take your medicine.
So this car boasts 362 horsepower in this setup, and even the 4-cylinder alone makes 265 of those. The 4Runner is still producing 270 horsepower out of a V6.
Can we
So
for a
you pair
moment-
that with yesteryear's 5-speed slush box, and the driving feels a bit clunky. Have you driven a kind of newer-ish post 2005 4Runner?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I crashed one into a Prius when I was PDIing it because that's how slushy they are.
Wow,
they're
that
kinda boaty.
sucks.
I hit the brakes on it
put
really
in-
hard one
put it
time, and I
into
thought it was going to
reverse
flip.
with my foot on the brake, and it still lurched back and hit the Prius behind me.
Oh,
Put a
no.
hole in the bumper with the trailer hitch.
Oh, sick.
Yep.
Was that also ready for
Brand new.
PDI?
Both of them were brand new. Yep.
You know what my favorite
mess
was?
up the
Is one of the
Highlander.
new hires real fast. They put a gas and a diesel on it during a PDI. Oh, that was so
Oh,
fun to watch.
man.
Man, the whole it looked like an anthill got kicked over at that dealership that day, dude. It was hilarious. It was a hot summer day, the whole night. Anyways, go on.
Oh, man.
So, it also has a JBL sound system, which is nice. I have a sound system in my car. That's good. It's not very good. I actually use these little headphones on here to make it sound better. Probably sounds better than this JBL headset, though. The system.
Maybe for
Hey,
you.
man,
At a fraction
JBL
of the cost.
In
Yeah.
my dad's 05 Highlander,
It's the
that
only
was
way I
in
can
that
hear
exact
anything
same
on the
blue.
right side of my face. What's that?
The JBL
Did you say something?
System, JBL system bumped.
Not improving how deaf he was immediately. Right
was so
after saying
funny.
how deaf he was.
So, this car's base MSRP is $47,000,
Ew, yuck.
which is actually pretty good, right? It's
Think
really
so,
not that bad.
For the amount of
Why is that?
people you're
Considering
getting.
the median price of a vehicle is now like 37.
Wait a minute.
36,000.
How much is the ungrand Highlander?
What?
Well, that's what we're getting to.
Well,
Yeah.
Never mind, sorry.
Here's my question: why does the little back photo here? Yes,
Looks like an
it
Audi.
has exhaust pipes above fake exhaust pipes, or actually vice versa.
Those
Over
might
there
be
now.
reflectors that are chromed or something. They look kind of.
Oh yeah, he's
silly.
right. He's right. Yeah,
Oh.
those are
Or
reflectors.
there's also these are
that is
slim
not a
taillights.
smart
These could be the
move.
reverse lights. These are very, very, very slim taillights, and I'm not seeing any sort of
Either
white structure.
way, that's just a.
It does look
funky
odd.
thing.
It does look odd either way, though.
I don't like it.
So 47 grand makes it only above, I think $10,000 over a base model 4Runner and Highlander. That's where it gets weird. The 4Runner and Highlander.
It's interesting.
And at this point, they're not really,
So
you know,
that
you
means,
don't
like-
buy these Forerunners and think of them like, I'm going to overland the hell out of this. I'm going to put an external roll cage all over it. And, no,
Yeah.
it's
Put a snorkel on
It's-
it.
Yeah.
Business.
Well,
yeah.
my other question
It's
is
more of a
I'm
mall
not
crawler,
so
and you
much
have-
curious what the Highlander starts out for.
the
What does
same.
the Highlander hybrid start out for?
This is the one we're looking at.
No,
is-
we're talking base. We're talking base here. Just keep
Oh,
it
okay. So
simple.
what was the XLE hybrid or whatever was like? I think closer to
You're probably looking at
50.
53.
50
Yeah.
or something.
Okay.
But so
Yeah.
that's also like the
But
median.
this thing comes standard
Same with like
hybrid,
a TRD Forerunner.
No,
53.
they're looking. I
54.
think at both the option to have
Oh.
a regular 4-cylinder in it. I believe, which is silly if you ask me. I
It's
think
silly.
it may end up being.
This whole lineup is chaos.
Yeah, and so Toyota. That's the thing. That's like I was like, why bother spending $10,000 on something that's got a old school V6 and 5-cylinder, and why wouldn't I just buy the nice new Grand Highlander for what, like 13,000 more? Ooh, and also get even better gas mileage. Because that's all I'm
Yeah,
actually
this is
looking
just-
for. I'm going to
this
take my
is-
kids to school in this, or I'm going to go to the store or the mall. Like,
This is almost as bad as BMW with
Dude,
the Grand
that's what
Tours
I
and
was
the
thinking.
fives.
That's exactly what they're doing,
Fives.
yes.
Sorry, hate to steal everyone's thunder here, but I was just like, gosh, this reminds me awfully of those
Yeah, they're
BMWs
they're
that
gonna
look
lose
all
their
the
So I'll
same.
just
Own
throw this whole
sales.
next page out then. Thank you, David.
Oh, damn it! I'm sorry.
I'm
Was
just-
that really what it was?
I can hear you
you're good,
say
you're
it.
good.
if you
Oh
weren't
man.
there.
Okay. All right.
So,
Turned a 3 series into a 4 series, and then the 4
Oh,
series
I
into
know.
a 4-door 4 series.
yeah, I know. The Grand Coupe.
What is going on here?
Is it
Yeah.
the 2? Is it the 1?
So I was working at BMW at the time that happened.
Oh,
and I could
God.
not believe
Brain
my
just
eyes. I'm like, you guys
exploded.
took away the 2-door 3 series to make a whole new series, and then just made it a sedan too. Yeah, it was 100% exactly how you put it. Oh God, Grand Coupe.
yeah, seriously.
The GT
This
ones
is-
are the worst looking cars, man.
Yeah.
The 5
Oh,
Series GT has
yeah.
got to be one of the ugliest BMWs
3 Series
ever made.
GT.
3
like
Series
German
GT.
Aztec.
But all of the GTs, like they just did not.
Yeah, it's the
execute that
Pontiac
well.
Aztec of Germany.
Yep.
Absolutely.
The fuel cutoff
Well
kicks in
said.
at 134 miles per hour on one of those. Don't ask me how I know. So the Swedes are up to something.
Can you guess what though? Before
Again?
it goes on.
Making jets.
Nope.
Nah. Volvo CEO Jim Rowan is going the direction of Tesla by selling directly to consumers in the UK by the end of this year, much to the dismay of their dealer network. Surprise.
Yeah.
Wait.
So, to paraphrase what Rowan said, is that Volvo as a manufacturer is not part of the pre-sales and post-sales processes, and in an age of having information at your fingertips, it seems like a vital error to him, which I've...
How can you not agree with that
Yeah.
statement though, right? Like as a
Yeah.
business person, that makes total sense.
Right.
Yeah.
You want full control over this from the hey, how are you doing? Welcome to Volvo. To thanks for your money.
Yeah. Simply put,
Now
yes.
say it in Swedish.
I'm not doing that.
No.
That's okay.
Chuck, don't you do it either.
Chuck, don't you do it either.
As I'm doing it.
So
Oh, you are.
so Porsche also seems to be going in this direction, as we saw. I think it was like 2 months ago, December maybe, where they were basically like, hey, take all of your listings off third-party sites. You can only list it on your dealer site only.
Yeah.
Right, so Porsche classifieds became a lot rarer that day.
Sad day.
It's starting to sound like the proof is in the pudding when looking at Tesla, as at this point Elon Musk is largely hands-off, and a majority of Tesla owners are no longer e-nerd Musks, but people who are just tired of driving 16,000 miles past their scheduled oil change.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that concludes the snooze.
But that all, like, how do you do that? Just take your shit and oil change.
Gosh, dude.
You don't have another car.
That's okay.
What are you gonna do? Fucking walk?
Like, there's buses, Ubers. Ubers are a huge thing in the world now.
Yeah, well,
I
they're
dropped my
also
car
a
off for an oil
huge
change on
expense.
time
I hate it.
and took my Uber to work. And then took my Uber from work back to my car. Everyone does it. You should too. Calm
call a
At the expense of
No,
waiting
see,
16,000
the way
miles
that I
to get
got
your oil
around it,
changed.
the way I got around it was I just buy another car whenever the other one needs an oil change.
Yeah, but for a moment there, you had 4 cars if you count the
I have,
Spitfire,
yeah.
and none of them worked.
That happened. Now you know why I have 4 cars to begin with.
So where was the 5th?
Because I ran out of money.
Well, your logic just doesn't hold water.
Or actually, I didn't actually run out of money. I almost did buy that Blazer that Andy was talking about.
Oh, no.
yeah.
Not
$3,400
another truck.
bucks. It was a steal.
That's
Yeah.
sweet.
All
43,
your
34, $3,400.
Yeah, it
Damn.
That
was.
thing was minty. I almost bought it. Huge
It was
mistake
also
to not buy
earpiece
it,
color.
if I'm honest.
Ooh, that was nice. I
It was
like
four,
that.
yeah, it was 4-wheel drive. The
Good
seats
hearing
weren't half
aid
bad.
beige.
Well, yeah, nothing like it.
Beige.
Yeah, that was nice.
So, yeah, that's what I do.
I think it feels like it's time for a jingle.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you can do any of your smart
Sing
ones.
your heart out, Chuck.
Oh, I'll do my best. Has your bug become a stain on your rug? Then sell it to Carvio and we will give your wallet a hug. We will buy your car in almost any condition. Carvio.com or 855-951-3335.
So this week was my turn to draw the die-cast model. Oh, can I have a high five?
It was Knuckles, but sure.
We'll get over there.
We just said the same thing at the same time.
Not hugging the potato.
I stuck my finger out at the last minute and just tickled his palm.
Got him.
You sure got me.
I know.
I pulled the Toyota 2000 GT. That's right. I could have named
'Cause he
this
wants to
episode
make
simply
this hard.
Episode 3 Toyota GT 2000. This particular model is sort of a mineral charcoal with red and white pinstriping across the sides and over the top with gold trimmed wheels. I bought it about 10 years ago.
Did you really?
Yeah, though this packaging,
Yeah.
never have guessed.
I told Andrew, I was like, this is like kind of not old school packaging, but early 10s.
And I
if you
don't
will.
remember buying it, which means that I know for sure that what I'm about to tell you is true. And that thing that I'm going to tell you is that I bought this because it looked cool. And I knew it wasn't purely fictional on account of it having Toyota's name on it.
Yep.
Because the fictional die-cast things are
So,
like,
like,
not
I
for
don't
me.
want to maybe skip ahead, but did you never see the James Bond movie with that car in it?
No.
No, I didn't know
What?
actually about that either. Which one
Oh,
is
guys.
Don't worry about it, okay?
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
you keep
No,
going.
Let me
while I
read.
find this
You
and
don't
then
need to show us a damn thing.
I'm just telling you what movie it's
He literally has a monitor right here that you can.
I'm getting it right now, boys.
Yeah,
But I beat him to it.
Chuck's gotcha.
You only live twice.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, whoa, this one's kind
Penny
of
wins.
expensive. Oh, no, it's not.
So I think when looking it up, I found out how much I lost out on a Craigslist ad I had seen a while before. It was a body complete with the hood. Rust was starting to show from under the chalky tired paint of a 2000 GT. It was
On
not called
Craigslist.
on Craigslist. It was not called a 2000 GT in the name. It was not fiberglass because it was rusting. I don't think either me or the guy selling it knew what we
they
were
had.
looking at.
Wild.
So, you know, I
would've
could have
sold my
I could have
kidney
missed out on a lot
to
of
buy
money
that
there.
car.
I could have also missed out on becoming a young adult murder statistic. So,
That's a good point. But can I tell you something fun about the 2000 GT that was in James Bond's You Only Live Twice?
maybe.
Great. So, if you notice, this car in this movie is a convertible. They only made 2 convertibles. Why? Because Sean Connery was too tall to go in the coupe. So they chopped the top off and made it look great. And the only 2 2000 GT convertibles ever made were used in that movie.
Wild. Those must be worth a pretty damn penny.
Yeah,
Yep. The prettiest of pennies.
for sure. I think it looks, I think this about most cars.
I think the
It
convertible looks really good.
I think the coupe still looks better.
Yeah, that's Andrew's camp. Me and Andrew always argue about the top on or off on the
I
spit.
normally hate convertibles.
I think the convertible looks good.
I
I think it
don't
does.
like convertibles either, but this does look good.
Like, I still think the coupe looks better.
It gives like Ferrari vibes with the convertible like this. It's just very, very. It looks very Italian, which is what they're emulating.
Yeah, but like,
So-
look at Sean
let's move
Connery.
on
He
here.
goes up to his like knees.
Because I'm still talking about this car for another
Yes.
10 minutes. Don't worry. It's not going anywhere.
Well, you weren't talking about that, but continue.
You just never know, do you, Ben?
I just asked you if I was skipping ahead, and you didn't make a face at me, so I'm going to.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I don't have a face. So despite having this car for over a decade, I actually never got to know the car, despite it being one of the most beautiful cars ever made. And no, an E-Type is not on that list.
Hey, you're
What?
maybe right about that.
I'm
but I
totally
love the way
right.
an E-Type
The
looks.
E-Type is pedestrian.
I
Oh,
don't really like
Absolutely.
the E-Type very much.
no, the E-Type is cool looking.
It's cool, but
It-
it's not
it looks-
like best
it
car
looks
ever
like-
in the world.
The
I'm not
E-Type
saying it is.
looks
but,
like when GTA 5 or any GTA for that matter that's not 1 and 2 or London 1969,
right?
they wanted to put a Ferrari car in their game, but they had to make it look stupid.
Right.
That's what the E-Type looks like. It's
I
like
just don't
over-exaggerated.
I don't like how frumpy the fenders are over the wheels.
It also-
that irks me so
Well,
hard.
that actually doesn't bother me. It's just it's so impractically long, and I know that the whole thing about the E-Type and frankly any Jaguar is how impractical they are, especially with like
Right.
the V12 XJSs.
Yeah.
They're just whatever, man.
Someone looked at that melty painting in the '60s and was like, "Yo, the clock one that's melting or whatever."
Dalai, yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Was that Dalai Lama?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the Dalai Lama, but close. Chuck.
Oh, you mean Coldplay?
What is the hell is his name?
Salvador
Dali,
Was
yeah.
that the Dalai Lama?
Oh my god.
I had no idea.
Could you imagine?
I thought he was just a
Dalai Lama
spiritual
making a
artist.
car?
What is that painting even?
So these started production in the late 60s, big surprise. A time where many other large auto manufacturers were beginning to produce what are now their most desirable models ever made. So the whole idea was actually conceived by Yamaha,
Yep.
who fabricated a 4-cylinder prototype called the YX30. Chuck, can you look up the YX30, please? Please. There
Yoink.
we are. The second.
Oh,
There we go.
That looks like a frumpy Corvette.
Looks like a little Japanese Sprite.
It
Yeah.
looks like a very standard. It
looks like a cartoon.
fiberglass kind of garage-made fiberglass car of the day,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's why Yamaha doesn't make cars.
Yeah.
Very rounded off front end. It does kind of resemble the first gen Corvettes as a whole. So they produced this prototype in hopes it would become an in-house model sold under their name. I think Chuck said it. Good thing that never happened.
Yeah.
That's not.
So,
Facts.
simply put, this thing did not end up happening. Instead, the idea was taken to Nissan, who produced their own prototype, the A550X. Chuck, can you look up the A550X, please?
Yep.
There we are.
Oh, that looks familiar.
Warmer.
That looks like a Datsun.
Yes, it does.
Because it's a
Mhm.
Datsun.
Yep. So it's pretty much a
Really,
pop-up
really
headlight
easy.
240Z.
Oh, you mean what was that? The 260 or the 280 that did that eventually?
The 280? No, the
It wa-
280 had the just slim headlights, or were those running
280
lights?
was like the last of the 300 or the
They had
240
those were
looking
pop-ups,
car.
weren't they?
Yeah, I
No.
thought the two. No, they weren't pop-ups
No, I
yet.
guess not. Yeah. Okay,
thought
so
they
the
were-
300.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Fair enough.
The early 300, like the 84 with the T-tops.
Oh my God, yes,
That
the
was the
Fair Lady
pop-up
Z
headlight car.
model.
So
Oh.
what this reminds me of is Triumph also made a car called the Triumph Fury, and this was also made at the same time that they were considering making the Spitfire with pop-up headlights. So it would have looked a little bit like this.
Ooh, that's good
Yeah,
looking.
that's pretty good.
I do remember you
like
showing me this
that.
before, Andrew.
It's a good looking piece of car.
Yeah,
Yeah,
see
it
the front
is.
end there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
So it's like a big old grown up Spitfire
It is.
Whoa.
with a cut off front end like the TRs, classic
Pop-up
classic
headlights.
Triumph, and pop up headlights.
It's nice.
It was
Nice.
it was a little English Corvette.
Nice.
So Nissan produced the prototype, the A550X, which we all agree looks tight as fuck.
Yep.
It
Um,
does.
Which was also stopped in its tracks in favor of producing the Sylvia.
Huh.
Sylvias are yummy.
So those actually did not sell very well.
The Sylvias.
Yeah, the first gens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Running out of options for selling the idea to any company with real potential to make it a reality, they turned to the manufacturer that made cars for everyone's moderately wealthy grandfather, Toyota. And in an effort to dust off their image, they took the idea, gave it gorgeous flowing body lines with designer tier light fixtures, and an extremely respectable interior. This car was rated to match the likes of Ferrari, Jaguar, not the E-Type, but the E-Type, BMW, Aston Martin, and so on. I mean, you can look at the car and you can point at so many other vehicles made in the day that take on its similarities, right? The E-Type definitely looks like a cheap version of
I
this.
love how it has pop-up
The-
headlights and same-sized fog lights.
It looks great, honestly.
I would
Now,
choose this
I
over
saw
anything.
earlier when I was looking up all this stuff, somebody put 2 rally headlights in
Right there.
between the big old fog lamps,
Yep.
and it looked terrible.
That would be
God
bad.
awful. So, now to see what this thing can do, you'd be surprised to hear this car only produced 140 horsepower. It did compete in racing, and it did happen to set 13 speed and endurance records at the Yaltabi High Speed Test Track in 1966. This car was actually destroyed in a pace car incident.
Oh, man.
Classic prototype.
Hit the pace car.
Yeah,
What?
seriously.
So this may or may not have been what prompted Carroll Shelby to pick 3 of these up and set them to compete in SCCA in the U.S. for the 1968 season.
Interesting.
Oh, they just.
They did well, and then they were retired. Toyota bought one of them back to replicate their destroyed replica car, and in Japan it still resides.
Yay.
Another one of those Shelby cars sold for $2.5 million,
Holy
Yeah,
crap.
that's the one
which is
I was
about
just
double
pulling
what
up.
any of the other 330 or so production models would demand at auction.
Yeah.
Which is like anywhere between $850 and like $1.3 million.
Just
Yeah, this
sold for
sweet,
5.
Sweet,
I was like,
sweet,
what's wrong with
sweet
that?
piece of sweet.
That thing is sweet.
They made a Hot Wheel of that one too, but it's
They,
like the
uh,
expensive one.
They made a Hot Wheel of one of the newer ones. I think the newer Hot Wheels of these has better looking wheels.
I got one. It was like the Tokyo 2020 Olympics before
Yeah,
they
that's
got
the one.
canceled,
Uh-huh.
and it had the karate theme, and it's
Yeah.
like dark red. It's beautiful. I
Mhm.
got like 2 of them. I was like, I love this. I want
Yeah,
this.
that's
And
the
we
one.
knew it was getting canceled already,
Yeah,
so we're
so
like,
it's like,
these are going to be
ooh.
worth money.
Gimme, gimme.
So this car was ultimately made to rebrand Toyota after all. So of course they would oblige to have their car be featured as 007's motoring of choice in the 1967 film You Only Live Twice, only months after the vehicle was first unveiled.
Why didn't you
Well,
give him the
Benny,
face?
You kept your face hidden very well.
Benny.
Because I didn't want to lose anything, right? You might have forgotten.
Damn it.
Okay.
So the director of the film was actually convinced by his friend, who was a Toyota Factory Works driver, to replace his idea for having Bond drive a Camaro
Camaro.
with this model.
What a
as-
great choice.
As it would fit more with the fact that the film takes place in Japan.
Yeah, and it would fit better on their roads.
I know, right? Yeah.
Like,
It was-
duh.
Yeah. So that's what I have. I know it wasn't anything too fancy, but things get real long when I make things too fancy.
That's
Check.
also true. That's also true.
So now we're
No,
on to.
no,
What?
no drum joke. Okay.
No, good.
Are we on to?
Because it doesn't make any sense. So let's move on to your classified cars of the week. I
Oh.
did not pick one. Instead, Chuck did. So I will be the judge. I know I'm always the judge anyway.
Well, we got to see.
Do I frequently get overthrown? Yeah.
We're getting. Yeah. Well, you're gonna get overthrown right now. We're getting ahead of ourselves. We're having the brothers have a little duo showdown against who got the better 2000 GTE to find. Unless,
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So
well,
yeah. Well,
did you not find one?
No, I made a point that like these are not for sale often.
well,
Like,
that's not
found
the
a sold
point.
one.
It's still a classified.
Right.
It doesn't
Yeah,
have to
I
be
found-
for
all right, that's
sale.
fair.
You know,
Okay.
especially when we, maybe if we get a more normal car that
Right.
has more than 330
Hold on, I gotta
cars.
surf around here. Okay, wait. Someone found one. Who found this?
That's me.
Ah, okay. Is this
So
a
we
model?
found
This is like a toy model.
Red
color.
2000 GT, 1967, sold at Pebble Beach in 2018 through Gooding and Company for a whopping $550,000. One of only 62 examples built for the U.S. market. Original left-hand drive car presented in solar red, delivered to famed American racer Otto Linton, and restored by someone in Maine. Among the finest 2000 GTs in existence, and
Wow,
also
bold.
one of the cheapest, it seemed like, that I could find for a cool, crisp $500,000.
I think it was because it was restored.
No, there were. I mean,
Ooh,
it was restored,
maybe.
but there were other ones that were also restored for like 800 grand.
So this guy's just a terrible salesman.
Or yeah, a great buyer, one or the other. Or there, wasn't a big room for 2000 GTs. And
Behind every great buyer is a terrible salesman.
that's a good point. But yeah, so it's a good car,
So this is claiming 150 brake horsepower at 6,600 RPM. That is a tight engine. 3 Weber 40 DCOE carburetors. Those are nice. 5-speed. I believe that was actually standard. You couldn't really get anything else. And it came with wheels.
Yeah,
How about it?
and disc brakes.
And everything probably works.
Those have a double wishbone suspension,
Scroll down a touch.
I think.
Touch more. Touch more. There we go.
Wait, where are all the pictures?
What?
Where are all the
Go up.
pictures?
Just scroll through them.
Yeah.
There's a button. I'm pretty sure you just
God, those are small.
maybe they don't have
Those
all
are
the
very
pictures
small.
for.
That is
I
weird.
just unlocked the
Usually-
They
one.
might
Forza.
not have all the
So much
pictures
fun.
for
Oh, well, this ad's
whatever it's called for previously sold ones, because this is the archives. But yeah, I mean they really dropped in value between 2014 and 2018.
But I think as you'll notice with mine, they came right back up.
Okay, go to yours,
yeah.
Dave. This was mine. It was red. On to the next.
For me, it has to be white.
Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah, that's true.
I
White.
think it's got to be that color. This was
Yeah.
on Bring a Trailer, and I don't think this is a blooper at all, because I think overall, I think this is a pretty good deal. $850,000 it sold for in 2021. It is white over black, and it is pretty much the exact same as Benny's, except
The
it is a
wheels are-
68.
Did you not read the
Magnesium.
ad?
The wheels, yeah, it's a 68. Let's see.
It's in California
How many-
with a
It's got
clean
different carbs
Montana
on it. It's
title.
got the triple McConney.
Okay, 84. So I
McCooney.
guess it's less
Those might have
rare
been original,
than Benny's
yeah.
67 one. Was yours in the 90s or the 60s as far as build amount?
What? No, the
mine was
last ones were produced in
60s
1970.
60s for the U.S. market. 84 left-hand drive examples. So we're comparing apples
Okay.
to
Oh, I
oranges.
see what you're saying.
Right. Okay. Fair. I thought it was. I read that wrong.
I don't think
Or
they
heard
do
that
things
wrong.
by year because the overall count is so low.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't do that stupid
Oh.
thing like Porsche where it's, hey, there's only 2 of your kind ever made.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yours wasn't owned
'Cause we
by
have
a famous
800 options.
racing
Mine
driver.
was not owned by a famous.
Yeah, but it
race
sounds like it has the
driver.
Oh, and this
car
was
though.
originally solar red, so this is a repaint, and it started out
Oh.
looking exactly like mine.
What I
Bah
didn't-
humbug. I win.
So I'm gonna
just-
say right here, I do prefer them in white.
Right.
They look good with the black wheels.
did
and
do a
black
good job of the paint
interior,
job.
and-
They
yeah.
did, but that annoys me.
Unfortunately, if it meant saving $330,000, I think I'll
Take
take
the
the
red.
original red one that is still red.
Fair.
yeah.
But that was the time. Maybe that red one probably sell for about as
Maybe
much
that
as
red
this
one was
did.
originally white.
Ooh.
I doubt it,
Wouldn't
though.
that be a
Probably
funny
said
turn of
so.
events?
I feel like you could
Okay,
only get
so
them
who
in white.
wins? I think I win. Andrew,
I
what's
think.
the verdict?
I think
Ooh, this
I
has
think
a
you win.
spare tire
Come
cut.
on.
that's
Need
a
more pictures,
landslide
though.
there.
But
but-
that's also because this, I think, platform is a little bit different. I don't know.
These have photos.
Well,
How about
one
that?
had photos
that
at
one
one
had
point.
photos,
Sure.
yeah.
But they're like bring a trailer photos. They're absolutely worthless.
Hey, look who's
Hope
just
the new
said what
owner's
I said.
5'5" or less. That's a good That one made me laugh. I did. You obviously scroll through the first. This is worth more than LFA. They're equally Toyota excellent machines.
That is a hard choice, you know?
I think
I
I'd
love the
rather have
LFA.
an LFA.
I love the
They
LFA. Just
sound
because the
so
sound.
good. It's a V10.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
It was so
But
expensive to make. And they
Must
lost
I
so much
remind
money.
you, folk, the LFA is too old to have Bluetooth standard.
That's
That's
totally
a small
fine.
price to pay. It's probably got a
It's
USB
totally
in there.
fine. Lamborghini Aventadors.
You may as well just get the
didn't have-
2000 GT. It also doesn't have Bluetooth, but it does have a cigarette lighter
But it's
thing.
also
Lamborghini
smaller and
Aventadors
doesn't
didn't
have
have
airbags.
Bluetooth till like 2017.
That's not my fault.
It's not. It's not. It's not Toyota or Lexus's fault that the LFA came before that too.
It sure is.
How?
What do you mean?
They didn't make it.
But
I don't know.
it's not your fault. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Bad
Why
argument.
are you screaming at me?
That's the loudest Andrew's ever been on this podcast.
Or ever in his entire life. Alrighty, so I think.
I think Benny, probably.
Benny
But I
wins,
can
yeah.
say it.
Alrighty,
Benny.
so we're on to our next segment. You were
Should have picked the
saying,
same
sir.
year
What's
it
that?
sold.
Our blooper segment. Or you were.
What bloopers you got?
Oh yeah.
Show me your
Okay,
goofies.
who wants to go
Bring
first?
a trailer
And I'll show you mine.
bloopers.
No, just kidding, I don't have
pick
any.
whichever one.
Yeah.
Boom! Oh, here we go.
Yo, right.
Okay.
All right, so
Alright.
you're taking my angle
I
from
saw
last
this too.
episode.
Yes.
Why the hell would I go to bring a trailer to buy a 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee?
I have no idea why anybody would do that, let alone spend $27,000 on one. Now here at Carvio, we buy these for $400 on the
All
daily.
day,
all
every
day,
day.
every day, because they're all gonna break.
They aren't that clean though. These things were
This
pretty
one is
bulletproof.
I've seen some clean Jeeps come through here, pal,
Yeah,
and
but a
they
dime a
might
dozen.
be like $900 to $1,200.
No, that's. I mean, I get that.
I would see like
But-
if you spent 10 on
I'm
this
not
thing, I'd be
saying
like, you're nuts.
neither of
But
those
that's
prices are
okay.
unreasonable, but that is a lot for a Jeep. 24,000
That's ridiculous.
27.
So
for like
27,000.
the least desirable generation.
Yeah, ever.
That's not a.
Like,
I mean, not a.
It's
good
not
choice.
square.
And,
It's not
and
reliable.
most of them are not
It's-
desirable.
I knew a kid who had one of these in high school, and he totaled it on the 52. And the person who called the cops when they watched him wreck this Jeep said that somebody had crashed a Honda Civic. That was how mangled this thing got.
Damn.
Ouch. Yeah,
That sounds terrifying.
he was
dude.
fine. Well,
Weird
not
assumption
fine.
to
He
just
broke
go
some
on.
things, but he lived. So
He just
That
saw a
was honestly
sedan
a
and thought
shock.
it was a Civic.
So when we were in high school, I don't remember what it had, but it was like it had like a steel extra bit bar up front. It had like plastic cladding on the butt. It was like a special model, but I
It's
can't remember
the
what it was.
Overland, so it
No,
looks like.
was it? No, it was something different.
What are you talking about?
no, he's talking about some girl from high
Different
school.
with the same
This-
Jeep, but like it was a
had
different
some
model
dumb
and
stuff on
had,
it.
it wasn't like the fully loaded one like this one is or was or
Yeah.
whatever. So
Yeah, so this is like the fully loaded.
fully loaded,
You know,
Interior looks good.
Yeah, I mean, in
good
everything
shape.
looks.
Tank
Yeah,
disc
I hate
changes.
those, sure.
I hate this cluster right here.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
stare
light
at that for a
blue?
living? No, that white. These white. Oh my god.
No,
those-
but at night they're light blue. They said they
or green. Yeah, I hate
Yeah.
them. Sorry, these things can burn in hell.
so
fair.
Used to work on them for a living.
High output.
How many miles are on this?
49,000.
49. Oh my god.
I know. It's got. It's from
24,000.
Arizona, so it's like it's not a rust.
Okay,
Midwest.
so
This person
so-
nearly made like 50 cents a mile on this car.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
how much was this thing new? You think?
MSRP
Gotta
can't
be
that
around
good.
this.
I bought
check it
a
out more.
red Cherokee. Well, not me. The company. A red Cherokee today with 63,000 miles.
Really?
And it wasn't beat.
I'm sure.
It was not beat, right? You'll find these things.
Where was it?
I don't know. It was somewhere in the Midwest, maybe.
Oh, that's probably why. But
No.
yeah.
What are you talking about? What
It's
is that?
gonna be a
So
little.
let's
Are
go-
expensive
you
regardless.
kidding
It's
me?
a
This
Chrysler
thing-
product
It wasn't
from its
rusty,
age.
surprisingly.
This thing originally sold for 28 to 40K. So this thing
Probably
basically
40.
Probably this one was closer to 40.
Yeah.
But still, like to be in the wheelhouse of its original price, like yeah, that's the basis model 28, but that is just terrifying. Why did someone buy this Jeep for this much? What was this? Your mom better have driven you everywhere in that thing as a
It
kid.
has
What the hell?
50,000 miles
Dude, I
on
want
it.
to say an old lady bought this, and like she was like, "I'm old lady, but I like these cars. And like she bought some crazy stuff on Bring a Trailer. I'm like, good for you.
I don't think.
Good old
I think they
ball
still
crawler, baby.
go to a dealer for If,
But
Wild.
this is insane. I mean, I just looked at it. I was like, wow, this is nice. But like, what is
Not
that price
that- yeah,
tag?
not
That's
that nice.
crazy. Like I said, someone paid 10, 12, I'd be like, you're stupid. But that's
Yeah.
cool. Like,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
a
that's
sweet- yeah.
all right. You like old Jeeps.
That's but
whatever.
for 10 grand, that's a Jeep you keep forever, and you're
sure.
like, I'm happy about this
Yeah.
investment. $27,000. You got what? 10 years to live, lady.
it's
I
already.
always try to picture who
So-
buys these.
So the life expectancy for most cars being maintained properly is 300,000 miles. This is an American car. It has a life expectancy of 200,000 miles.
At
It's
best.
already a quarter way through its life expectancy.
Yeah.
and has been sitting for God knows how long for
And
the
they
rest
paid
of those years.
and they
Yeah.
paid $3,000 under the base model MSRP for these for a 20-year-old car.
Correction, 1,000. This sold for $27,000 on Bring a Trailer.
On the 18th.
Woo!
This year.
27?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
$7,000.
I thought it was 24.
You got duped.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, this hurts. We got to move on. Let's check out another one of these.
I might have won.
It
I don't
hurts.
think you did,
No.
but we'll see.
Nope. Well, this is mine. We're gonna go with mine.
Ah.
Andrew, you want to intro this one for
Oh,
me?
I already saw this one yesterday. Who do you think showed me it?
Yeah, me.
Was it you?
I think it
Yeah,
was
it
me.
was
I think it
me.
was Ben.
Oh, did you see this?
Yeah.
Bro, this-
Everybody needed to be
I'm
shown
sorry.
this
So
one.
for
Okay,
me, like,
I will bring it in. It is a Green Bay Packers signed 1997 Plymouth Neon Expresso sedan. And every single signature is signed on the top, the outside of the trunk.
Like the side you can see. Not the inside of the hood like something tasteful.
So the only reason this has so few miles
Is
Was
because of
to-
the signatures on
was
the
to keep the signatures intact.
trunk, but those seats are rad.
Would I pay $7,900 for
Confetti
this?
seats?
no,
Maybe.
you're ridiculous.
I pay.
I
I
can't
pay
believe
like.
any-
If you were a Packers fan and you're like, I have stupid money.
I am
want
not a
this."
Packers fan.
But hold on, this is from a casino giveaway, and like for me, like you just like this. Look, even in the photo here, look how chintzy and like this car just looks like a
There's
pile.
nobody around the casino.
So how many miles
This-
are on this?
Low. It's a pile of shit. Like why?
How many miles are on it? 11,000 miles.
Yeah,
Shown.
That's pretty good.
it definitely rolled over, just like the Green
That's
Bay
a
Packers.
that's a cheap, almost brand new car.
Yeah.
These
So,
people.
well,
These
if
people
you can't
pay-
drive it. You
these-
can't do anything with it. If
You
want
can
to do
drive it.
something.
Just grab some 409.
It's a paint
These
pen.
people.
Not like a Sharpie,
Bought-
but like, right. I don't. Proceed, Benny. Go
No,
ahead.
that's not what I was groaning at.
Oh.
These people spent $3,000 on a neon and $5,900 on Brett Favre's autograph.
Well, here's the thing, though. That like this is.
I'll tell you, I spent
It's
about
the
the
wrong
same
math,
amount on
$4,900.
my
Wrong
own
math,
neon.
sorry.
It has no signatures on it.
This is like I think middle of the road for it in like options. This is
Beautiful color. Say what you
Yeah.
will,
With
but
the
like,
Yeah.
gold lettering,
It's-
like I love it, but the autographs for the birds.
yeah.
but
That's
this is
crazy.
also like an economy box that is throw like chuckable. This is like would you guys like what if this was a blue Pontiac whatever the hell the one that we love the most
Grand Prix?
Yeah, or Grand Am.
I would buy it.
G6?
I'd love those.
Yeah.
I'm the wrong person to ask.
Are
I
you
would buy any of
serious?
those.
What?
Listen,
Yeah.
buddy. So
Any of
if
those 90
people,
90s rental cars are my favorite.
you
You're
can't
horrible.
you can't tell me that it's reasonable to spend even more money, quadruple the amount of money, on the same exact car. Only it's called a 1997 Honda Civic. Just because
I would
it says
want-
what?
I
Oh,
would
he's
100%
defending
Yeah,
his
right.
neon. That's what he's doing.
It's just
he
it's the same.
is.
It's the same concept.
Mind
Yeah.
you, for those of you listening, this guy that Andrew, our host here, he does drive a neon in like pewter, and
gray
he is.
green.
It's mineral gray.
Here we go. See, always defending the neon and her honor.
How's that? I'm just.
It looks more like a
No,
moon
but you
rock.
can't
That's
even justify
true.
because you're right. I mean, what's the difference between this and a Honda Civic at the time, except a Honda Civic's
It's
better in
literally
almost
just
every
a
way.
really,
But, like,
it's a really, really light economy car.
Yeah, but this is also like the
Yes.
three. This is the
I'm all for
3-speed
it.
automatic pilot dog crap. I don't know. This
What do
is,
you think the Honda
this thing's
Civic
only
had?
this thing is only worth like $1,200 or $1,500 or something when I like looked it up. It's maybe sells for like $3,000. So yeah, while they didn't, they're paying double what it's
Not at
worth.
11,000.
Gross.
Not at 11,000 miles. No car is
that's-
worth as little as
That's a
that.
pretty cool car.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
heavy.
That's fine. You got. I
It's like
disagree.
three. That's
The
like what Vinny said.
signatures are
3,
stupid.
and then yeah.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
spend
well, let's-
3
let's-
on the car.
Listen,
a sweet
you can
neon,
you can
but-
spend like
All
you can
right.
spend 10 grand on a 140,000 mile like 2015 and
You're
have
never,
it
gonna,
for
you're never
like
gonna defend any of this for me. I'm just tuning all of you out. You guys, fine. I lost, but that car is a pilot dog.
no, that's not what I said, but it's like I think it's reasonable. It's not like
I
I
think it's
probably at the end
unreasonable.
of the day would not pay 8 grand for it. I don't know.
Well, and also, I'm pretty sure that the neon plant is very close to Green Bay, Wisconsin, and I'll bet you some like former factory worker living on their pension is just like, oh, I'm a Packers fan and I used to work there and I might have built this car and I'm gonna buy it now that I'm retired.
No, maybe.
That's exactly what they did.
Just like the chief of police who bought that.
I used to put the
Crown
fenders
Vic.
on these.
When-
my god!
so
I get it.
Not the-
You played
yeah,
that
right.
person, Benny.
I'll
You
put it
saw
this way.
I get you.
This is the last thing I have to say about that, and we'll move on. If I had 8 grand in my pocket and I was looking at things on Bring a Trailer, I would never throw 8 grand at a Neon Espresso.
Yeah.
It would much sooner go anywhere else. If I was at a used car dealer and that thing was cheap just because it's called a Dodge Neon, I'm buying it for 8 grand. I'm not going to spend 8 grand on some, 100,000 mile Civic.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of bringing a trailer. You list some random stuff, and everyone's like, "Oh, good riddance. I don't care about a neon.
So,
or, oh,
then it
good
so
sells
that's
riddance.
for
I
it.
don't care
That's,
about a
that's
GTI."
the best way
Yeah.
I can put it. But let's move
All
on.
right,
What do we
so
got?
my choice is
Good
a
choice.
2003 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 Z71 4x4 single cab short bed. Sold for $27,100.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
like it's 79,000 miles. It's essentially a base spec with big tires, like 4x4 Silverado.
A base spec? It's a Z71.
Yeah, it's like a bigger engine.
C71 off-road package is essentially just like stickers and.
was not
Four-wheel
if I remember
drive?
correctly. Yeah.
But if
The engine?
I thought the 4-wheel drive was one thing, and then Z71 was like just a package.
It has
you added
it
to
has
that.
the 5.3 Vortec, which isn't a fantastic
it's like,
engine. It is a
bigger
V8 as
V8.
opposed to the
It's
Right.
the
the,
bigger
the 4300 Vortec, the
Yeah.
6-cylinder. Yeah,
Didn't they make like a 4700 V8 or
yeah,
Cooler
they made
V8?
2.
something like that?
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah.
like,
So
oh,
79,000 miles, not exciting.
Isn't that great?
CD stereo, dual zone automatic climate control, a bed cover, fleet side bed, which just means it doesn't have the little innie sides by the gas tank
Wow.
door.
Better without
The
the
little
sides.
steps.
Yeah.
Lim-
Limited
like a
slip
step
rear
side.
differential. That's nice for driving on the road.
$27,000, $27,100. This is a work truck. This is a
Yeah.
work truck for somebody
It's-
who cleaned pools in California and wanted
It's
to
a
go
Midwestern
fast.
foreman's work truck.
Yeah, or that too, but like a little short bed, two
I
owner.
just don't get it. I mean, yeah, here's
Like-
the thing.
Here's what my problem with your pick is, Benny. My car is especially terrible. Yours always has a little bit of money left in it. You can usually
no, mine
wrangle
is
up.
just regular. It's so
Yours
regular.
is- mine's like a fully
It's
loaded
so,
one. I'll-
It's
that's-
so regular. You could get one of these for $4,000 with not even that many more miles.
You could say the same thing about the Cherokee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
These are
You're right.
These are seriously
But
neck and neck.
somebody spent $100 more on this, so I win.
I think. Hold on, hold your horses though, because people will always spend good money for
On a good
solid
truck.
working trucks.
Yep. Yep.
And maybe they really like the old one.
I mean, but you could use that other thing as
You
a
could
work
get
on
it.
Somebody
You
spent-
home up for this.
Somebody spent like Lincoln Navigator down payment cash on a Grand Cherokee from 2004.
Yeah. Somebody spent Lincoln Navigator down payment cash. So somebody spent brand new Chevy Silverado fully loaded down payment cash on a 20-year-old
Okay.
Chevy
those things are
Silverado
going
with
down.
80,000
Okay,
miles.
okay, you got me back. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's pretty much the same argument. That's why I
Right.
said neck and neck. They are very close. But if I had to pick someone to shoot twice, because I had 2 bullets in my gun and there's 2 people, it would be this guy, and then I would strangle the Jeep Cherokee guy.
So that's
So
coming
Jeep
second?
Cherokee wins. Yeah, no, you won.
I won?
That's a worse death. That's my
Oh,
opinion.
you have to look somebody in the eyes when you do that.
yeah, because they deserve it for
yeah.
buying that Cherokee.
Damn,
They
Dave, we
deserve
picked
it for
some
buying
good
that
ones.
Cherokee.
We did good.
This was a good one.
You know what's funny? I picked yours, and then Chuck's like, take it, and I was like,
You picked mine, so I already win by default.
No,
He tried
because
to
I
pick
said
mine
no,
first, and I
no,
beat
no,
him to
because
it.
I saw yours first, and then when he said take it, I'm like, this is better.
They
And
sold
then I
the
picked
same
mine.
day.
Oh my goodness, they did. What a crazy
Oh,
day
wow.
for them.
Wait, was that a Thursday?
I think it. No.
2/18. Oh, Sunday.
Yeah, Friday.
Sinful Sunday.
Saturday.
Saturday.
Sinful
damn it.
Saturday.
Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. Wow, that's a fascinating topic. What day is the 18th? What else we got? Is that everything?
That's it. We did it.
pretty much it.
Yeah.
Wow,
man.
okay. Wow, it's such a timely manner. What's the race schedule? What do we got this week?
That's a great question. Is this up to date? What is today's date, boys? Jeez, I'm not even paying
The
attention.
24th.
24th.
Oh man, no, it's the 22nd.
Not a yawn. Today's
Sorry.
the 22nd.
Oh no.
That's it.
That's it.
World Superbike.
That's it. World Superbike. That's it.
Formula E and World Superbike, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
I
Nothing.
guess everyone's taking the cover off of their new cars that look the exact same as their old cars in Formula One.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no,
exciting
that's
stuff.
it. This is boring. It's the same.
Okay.
That's it.
I mean,
All right. Well,
you know,
race
if you
Uneventful
like
ending
bikes.
for us, I
Yeah.
guess.
Well,
and that's the news.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, that's the show.
That is
That's
the
what
show.
it is. The show. That's the show.
So, in closing, did we learn anything today? Probably not.
Yeah,
Not all of you
I
went
guess
there.
I did.
What'd you learn, bud?
I learned pretty much anything about the Toyota 2000 GT.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Yeah, I didn't know much about that car at all, honestly.
Yeah, it was a Halo car after all.
Oh.
yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.